All right, welcome back to another edition of Black and Gold Radio, presented by Skyhawks Sports Radio Network. Skyhawks dropped a close one, 36-34 to Westside last week. Coach, what does this do for your team? I know everyone hates to have a loss, but to have a loss this early and still have quite a few games left in the season, is it better to lose now than late in the season, or I know you don't want to lose at all, but how do you feel about that?
Well, I think where we're at right now, it changes things a little bit. Even though we're still sitting at 5-1, there's still a lot of football left to be played. But I don't think it changes our focus or where we were at, because I saw the senior leadership and the maturity in last week's game. I didn't think we played good. We played hard. We didn't give up. We stayed after it all the way to the end. We didn't execute on some plays. We missed some assignments, and we didn't finish some drives. But what I saw from these guys was the resiliency to take it into double overtime and to keep fighting and battling. And I think that's what excites me to move forward. I see that type of attitude when we face adversity.
A double overtime loss, like you said, was real close. You pretty much say the 2-point conversion is what beat you. Tell us a little bit about the game last week and how everything went and how it wrapped up.
Hindsight, you're always perfect on things. We felt like it was 21-14. We had a chance to go up by 2 scores, and I really feel like that would have changed the game. Then we fumble on the 4-yard line, but then more importantly, we let them convert a 96-yard drive and take the lead. Then we come out, we take the lead 28-22, and we had 3 possessions on their end of the field with chances to go up by 2 scores. 2 of those possessions ended up in turnovers. We averaged 5.8 yards a carry. But what I saw that we couldn't finish was those 8, 9, 10 play drives. We'd turn it over, we'd get a penalty. So we had to go back as a coaching staff and rethink that offensive philosophy. Maybe we should have opened it up a little bit at times. It's hard to do when you're having success running it. But we learned a lot. I think we're going to grow from it, and we're going to move forward from it.
Coach, I listened to West Virginia Metro News. They had a little phone interview with Westside's head coach, and all he talked about was your all's physicality and how physical you were. Is that something that you pride yourself on this team, being physical and trying to beat down teams?
Absolutely. That's one of the things I challenged this group with. I felt like we had lost that identity in the past 2 or 3 years. Even though we had won some games, teams weren't afraid of us anymore. And what I mean by afraid of us is not afraid that they can't beat us or they can't play with us, but afraid that no matter how the game goes Saturday morning, it's still going to hurt. That's what built, I think, this black and gold football family, was that identity and that message of no matter how this game goes tonight, it's going to hurt tomorrow. And I think we're getting back to that style of ball. And let me tell you, coaches talk to other coaches. And when that message starts getting out, hey, you know what? These guys are for real. They're going to bring it every single play. That changes how people approach you.
We know coming into this week, you got number 7, Wayne. It's homecoming here at Scott. What kind of scheme are you going to see from Wayne? What do you expect out of them to see what the game's going to do?
Right now, I wish I knew. I mean, you've got a quarterback in Ferguson who the first 2 weeks of the season was running a spread offense and a wing tee, who's been out since the 2nd week of the season. So in comes a backup quarterback, and Wayne really starts to abandon their wing tee format and starts to run a lot of unbalanced power I formation downhill with Hodge. And now you've got people saying, well, Hodge may not be playing. I don't see him lining up in a power without him. You don't know if Ferguson's back. So we're preparing for just about anything right now. Typical Wayne football, they want to control time of possession. They want to run it. They want to try to get numbers. So I think what I told our young men Monday, when you look at the offenses we've had success against this point in time of the season, they're really base scheme fits us. It's a Hoover type. It's a Sissonville type. I'm excited to see us line up to it and play it.
Coach, you were telling us there just after practice about a high school game day type thing that's going to be here on Friday for the game. Match that with homecoming weekend. What are you going to tell your players to make sure that they stay focused and make sure that they know that after the first couple snaps, it's just another game, and to not get up and try to overdo things.
Sure, you've got Rock 105 coming here. You've got high school game day. There's a lot of activity. Obviously, this entire week's full of activity. It's Wayne. But what you can't do is get your motor so revved up so early that you run out of gas. You've got to approach the game with an even keel, come in and understand it's a four-quarter war. And it's the team that has that gas left in the tank in the fourth quarter. Our challenge in front of us, as I've told these guys, we got to get Wayne to the 15th round. That old style heavyweight boxing that used to go 15 rounds when it was real. We got to get Wayne to the 15th round, and then, by God, throw some heavyweight shots and see who can hang on.
One last question I want to ask is, how did your kids handle the loss last week, going undefeated and then getting their first loss and having to come right back and battle a tough team in Wayne? How did they handle everything?
I think the best thing I saw Friday night was we hate to lose. A lot of people like to win. I want the guy that hates to lose. And there's a difference. Because when that guy that likes to win loses, he's not changed any. These guys hated Friday night. They were upset about Friday night. Not in a bad way, not in a derogatory way. They held themselves accountable. When you walked into the locker room, you heard guys quietly discussing, this was the mistake I made. If I would have done this, they hated that moment. And that's a good feeling as a coach when you've got a group of guys that hate to lose.
Coach, last question. What's your 3 keys to success on Friday night to make sure you beat a good Wayne team that has been the focal program up to this point in some people's eyes? What's your 3 keys to success?
Now, I think the first thing is no turnovers. We saw that last week. No turnovers. The second thing is we got to finish our opportunity drives with points. And the third thing is we got to set plays down on third down. We cannot get them in a third down situation and then let them out of it.
All right, there it is from Coach Shane Griffith. Thanks, Coach. Good luck on Friday.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll figure out something.
All right, we're back on Black and Gold Radio with assistant coach Nick Shreve. Coach, last week you dropped a heartbreaker to Westside 36-34. Explain some of the difficulties you may have had and what you've seen that you really liked and maybe you didn't really like on defensive side of the ball.
The good thing that we took away from Friday night was that we didn't give up. We fought, tooth and nail to the last play. Some of the bad things, we missed some one-on-one tackles. We were trying to arm tackle at times a lot. But that kid from Westside, Koger, he's a heck of a player, and I think at the end of the season, there's going to be a lot of people talking about him because he's good.
On the defense side of the ball last week, how was your discipline on the team? Did you all have a lot of penalties? Did you all, anything like that?
Defensively, I think we played pretty clean other than the fact that, we just missed some tackles. And it just so happened that the time that we missed a tackle was, key moments. And that kid busted a big one here and there, kept momentum going. We had them third and long several times, and, that kid finds somebody open, squeeze a pass in there, or he'd take off, get around the edge, and get the corner on us and, get the first down. He just kept drives alive.
Coach, playing in the Cardinal Conference, you have a lot of playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. A few of them are here at Scott. You talked about the kid from Hoover, the kid from Westside, Sissonville quarterback. Explain to people how important it is. You just said you missed a lot of one-on-one tackles. How important is it just to get those tackles and make sure you set that guy down?
The main thing is, as long as you get them down, you haven't gave up any points yet. And these guys like the Dotson kid at Hoover, Hodge at Wayne, the quarterback at Sissonville, they're guys that if they're one-on-one in open field and you miss them, they're taking it to the house. They're just, the Cardinal Conference is packed full of athletes, especially this year.
Like we talked last week, giving up the 28 points to Hoover, and then last week's the 36 points. Has been the most amount of points y'all have given up since early on in the first couple of weeks. What kind of things are you changing up this week to try to limit the scoring for Wayne?
The main thing is just, playing assignment football, making sure we tackle guys. Like I said, which, last week we saw a completely different style offense that we've been facing. They were able to spread us out and, make us softer in the box, and that kid had the arm to get the ball out there and, hurt you out in space, and then he also had the toughness and the speed to take off and run it when he needed to.
Coach, as we said earlier, and Coach Griffith said, how tough is it not knowing what you may see after 5 games that's been played for them? They've changed their offensive scheme a little bit because of injuries. How tough is it going into the middle of the season? You see a different scheme for 3 weeks, and then now they're changing it up. Now they may have to change up again. Does that make you a little uneasy going into the game, or do you trust that your team can come in and be able to roll with the punches and be able to set them down and knock them out?
Well, it always makes you uneasy not knowing. We got 2 films on Wayne that we scouted, and we may not see anything that they've run. The good thing for us is, we faced both styles that they might throw at us. We faced a wing T style, we faced a power backfield, and last week we faced the, spread it out and fling it and take off and run. The good thing about this week is if they spread it out, the Ferguson kid, he's good, but he's nowhere near the same type of athlete that we faced last week. Not saying that, he can't hurt you, but as far as, just player to player, that kid last week is probably one at the top in the state.
Coach, last question, what's your 3 keys to the game to have success on Friday and come out with a win here on homecoming?
Same 3 keys they always are. Got to stop the run, control the big play, and you got to get off the field on 3rd down.
All right, there it is from assistant coach Nick Shreve. Remember that Friday night, Skyhawks Sports Radio Network will have a live feed of the homecoming Wayne game with radio commentary from myself and Justin Chafin, Skyhawks Sports Radio Network. Come out Friday night as Scott takes on Wayne Pioneers, 7:30. It's homecoming. Thank you for watching.